Well, good afternoon. We're here at the Festus Police Department sharing information on an unfortunate tragedy. A little after 10:30 this morning, a female responded here to the Festus Police Department and advised officers that she had shot one of her children and drowned the other. Officers were able to question her a little bit and determined that the victim that had been shot was actually in the vehicle out in the parking lot. Officers immediately ran outside, attempted life-saving measures for one of the children, and were able to gather enough information to alert the Sheriff's Department that the other victim was likely located in our jurisdiction, south of Festus. Officers immediately responded to Timber Creek Resort off Highway 67 in rural Festus, located another deceased child, apparent victim of drowning, and attempted life-saving measures again on that child and were unsuccessful. This is very early in the investigation. The female victim who reported the death of her children has been taken into custody and is currently at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office jail, where officers are attempting to learn more about this tragedy. I know there are many questions at this time, but during the course of the investigation, as early as it is, we have been unable to make next of kin notification for members of the deceased, and so we're not prepared to release information related to the identification at this time, which would include ages of the deceased children. As you can appreciate, this situation is a tragedy for our community. It's a tragedy for the family and the victims and anybody that knows this family. Again, we're prepared to hopefully share more information around 4 o'clock this afternoon. We hope to have the identities that we can release, but very early in the investigation. I'm happy to take questions.
Was there a gun recovered?
A firearm was recovered within the vehicle, and again, we're not prepared to discuss more information related to the firearm at this point.
You said a female victim or suspect?
Is a female suspect. So again, we're not prepared to release information related to the victims at this time. Both victims are under the age of 10 years of age.
You can't tell us if she's local from Jefferson County or where in that area?
Look, at this time, again, the interview is ongoing. We're attempting to make contact with the family. There are local ties here to Jefferson County and this community.
So the woman just walked into Festus Police and admitted everything, is that correct?
So the female that arrived here to the Festus Police Department advised the officers what had happened. And so, there was some interviewing that took place in an attempt to locate the other child. And again, our officers were able to check Timber Creek Resort and locate the other victim.
The suspect is the mother of these two children?
At this time, we believe so.
And the child that was drowned, was that found by police or someone at Timber?
No, the officers responded to the scene based on the information that the female had provided. When she arrived here, her clothing was wet, and suggested that the incident happened at a resort. Officers responded to the one resort they knew of that was close to the area, which was Timber Creek. And then as soon as the officer got out to start check the area, located the deceased child at that time and started life-saving measures. Unfortunately, he wasn't successful.
Was the child, do we know, was the child showing any signs of life, still breathing?
I'm not prepared to discuss what that looks like, but I will tell you that the officers in all these situations attempted life-saving measures for both children.
When you guys took her into custody, did she say anything about why or anything at all?
No, there's nothing I can offer you this time in terms of statements other than what I did offer. Again, that'll be part of the investigation, part of the interview process to determine a potential motive and some underlying circumstances that may have led up to this. As I shared with you, we wanted to give you the information, but at the same time, there's a lot of investigation that still needs to happen. We have many questions, just as you do, how this resulted in such a tragedy, but for us, this investigation is active. We have multiple crime scenes and multiple people to be interviewing, and so it's very active for us. It's very early in this investigation.
Will formal charges happen at 4 o'clock, or has that happened already?
No, I mean, look, the investigation, as I shared, is early. We will be working with the prosecuting attorney's office to determine the proper course of action. I don't want to suggest a timeline for them or speculate on charges at this time and what that looks like, because I think we're so early in the investigation. But the prosecutor's been made aware of this investigation, the tragedy that's occurred in this community, and will continue to be updated in terms of our progress.
Just to clarify the locations, so the resort and here are the only two that you're telling us about right now. Are there other places?
Look, this investigation is early, and there could be a potential other victim out there based on what we know with the family. Our investigators are actively working to determine that, whether this is limited to the 2 individuals that we've already recovered, but there is that potential that another victim could be out there.
If I could, Sheriff, about that other victim out there, does this woman have another child? Is that child now, it's whereabouts unknown?
Yeah, we're still attempting to locate another family member. Law enforcement is doing everything we possibly can, tracking down every possible lead to bring this to some resolution quickly.
Can you say whether or not that's a child or an adult?
I'm sorry?
Can you say whether or not that's a child or an adult you're searching for?
I believe it's a child.
Now, was the child that was found in the parking lot, that was shot, was that child shot at the police department in the parking lot or at the resort?
Based on the evidence that we have right now, we believe the child was shot somewhere else and then taken here to Festus Police.
Sheriff, you might have already said this, and I'm sorry, but do you have the time of here and time of the second location of each when you guys were working through all that?
So the original incident happened at 10:30 when she came here to the police department. Our officers were immediately dispatched to the other location around the same time. So everything was unfolding very quickly. So I would say approximately 10:30 this morning. We will continue to update you. I know this is a concern for the community. We understand it's a concern for anybody who has children out there. Our thoughts and prayers are with the entire community. We will update you this afternoon around 4 o'clock to provide more information. Again, very early in the investigation. We know there's a lot of questions, so we're doing our best just to make sure you have the information. Thank you.